And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We have returned with the lower semifinals of the Code for Giants Cup. We just wrapped up with the upper semis. We have Eric waiting in the grand finals, but the question becomes who will face off against him. We're here to find out. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is INexorable. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the other Brazilian Terran, the red Terran player representing Eximius Gaming. It is Kamikaze. And if you're in the chat, predictions should now be open. You can place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Best of luck with your predictions. As a reminder, we're jumping into the ace match. We're jumping into game number 3. We missed out on game 1 and game 2, but it's been very back and forth so far. And I mentioned before that INexorable and Kamikaze, they do go back and forth. This could go either way. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. Until then, we are calming things down. It's going to be double gas open out of Kamikaze, likewise double gas out of INexorable. Going for racks into factory. Just safer openers overall. No one is opening up too greedily here. Not yet, because we are moving out. I'm moving out, so we do have our Brood War skinned SCVs. I'm still not fond of the Brood War CC, I'll be honest. It's still not too fond of it. The SCVs I can get behind. They're nice, they're sleek, they're a little bit smaller. I can appreciate the SCVs. The CC a little bit less so. It's fine. Meanwhile, we do have a worker-on-worker action. He does. Oh my god. I do think actually Kamikaze was coming out slightly ahead there in that trade, but in the end, he's going to force back the SCV. Meanwhile, INexorable is denied the scout in the main. Scout is denied. SCV gets forced out. And so far, both players are more or less mirroring each other. INexorable has a little bit less information than his opponents. SCV has the right to tank some of those shots, but does tank them a little bit early. SCV goes down. INexorable, he wants the Reaper. He wants it. Can he get it? Oh, not quite. Yeah, the Reaper will escape, will get away. CC on the high ground for Kamikaze. Meanwhile, INexorable with map control gets a CC on the low ground. And INexorable will retreat. Of course, there is the defender's advantage for Kamikaze. INexorable is aware of that and will back the hell off. Does back up. The Reapers do bypass each other. There's going to be a Cyclone in a couple of seconds, but the CC is going to be delayed. Or at least it should be. Never mind. INexorable, he doesn't dive in. Pulls away at the same time. Kamikaze will manage to get some damage across the map. Yeah, INexorable heavily out of position. CC is delayed. And Kamikaze does recover from his earlier loss. Or from his earlier delay, I should say. So even though Kamikaze, he has to float his expansion down to the low ground, should be able to do so and should be lined up with the completion of INexorable's expansion. More or less. CC is floating. INexorable's finishing up. We're settling it. Brutal CC worse for sure, especially the PFs. Yeah, the planetary skin for like the gun is just so small. what happened? What's going on? Feels bad, man. Feels bad. As Kamikaze does move out, the drops do pass by each other. Up, and INexorable does react. He's committing though. Now we are both committing. INexorable pushing into the main, catching at the Marines. And can shut them down. Kamikaze a little bit later to move out. Boys are being pulled. There's one Marine behind this, a tank as well. Ooh, and one of the Cyclones is locked out. Yeah, Kamikaze will defend. Meanwhile, across the map, SCVs are also falling. Kamikaze losing 6 SCVs so far. As the drops do continue. Getting another SCV. Across the map, the juggling from Kamikaze. Oh, not good enough. If both Cyclones go down, INexorable, he defends, he only loses 2 workers. INexorable does come out on top. Has a worker leader. He wants a tank! Oh, he wants it, but he won't quite get it. Dropping in low ground once again, getting another worker. Cyclone finally goes down. And INexorable has to retreat. But some very nice damage here. Looking at the units lost tab, INexorable losing 4 SCVs, but he killed 8 workers across the map. So the blue Terran comes out ahead in the economy. And the pressure is now on Kamikaze to bounce back. So hard to tell if it's a PF or not. But also like visually, I mean, it doesn't look too good. I agree though. I agree that because the gun on the classic planetary is so minimalistic that it can be harder to tell what it is or what it isn't. But on top of that, it just could look better. Kamikaze dropping into the main. Auto charges get thrown down. The tank. Oh no! Medevac gets started down. Oh my god, the tank does fall. Brutal losses here for Kamikaze. Not like this. Not like this, papi. And behind this, INexorable getting a third. I mean, so is his opponent. Both players are expanding. Oh, that is a factory on the way. Let's go. That is a factory and a second starport. It is time to mech it up. You know, it's been far too long. When was the last time we casted a mech game? Yesterday. Let's do it again. To be fair, that was beyond playing mech against Protoss, so it was a little bit different. Regardless, Kamikaze is looking to mech it up. Likewise, INexorable moving out, embracing Bio. Stim is on the way, extra Vaxes as well. INexorable is pushing. He is aware he has a tank advantage, dropping into the main, going for the tank itself. Shouldn't be able to get it though. Nice disable on the medevac. And the medevac is going to be hunted down. A nice pickup. At the same time, INexorable pushing into the natural, catches a tank, and is within range. When Kamikaze has no energy. Does have Vikings though. Zones away the Ravens. INexorable could try to keep pushing, but yeah, he has to back off, as the air control is well in favor of Kamikaze. The double starport, double Viking production paying off. Even getting into a Liberator. So Kamikaze's still in this. Still very much in this, getting a third. Oh, tank boys going up. A lot of tank boys actually. Once again, INexorable being bullied back. The Ravens have to be so careful. INexorable pulls away. Kamikaze just now getting his own third. Is behind in the economy, but has, in a way, a greater army. Stronger where it counts when it comes to tanks and Vikings. Is still building up more Vikings. And can make 3 at a time. And the game is going to slow down a little bit. Now, INexorable still has an economic lead, that is true. And that is reflected in the army size as well. But can INexorable make use of it? He's going for a drop. Double drop on the right. Liberator harassing the main. Siege up. We'll get a couple of SCVs. Up. 3, 4, 5 SCVs going down. Very nice damage. Delayed mining time as well. And again, Kamikaze is still in this. I would love a not like this button. True. We have the emote at least. We have the emote. As the INexorable does drop in. Going for the mineral line. SCVs are going down. Likewise, main army pushing through the center. The CC is still low from earlier. It looks like the drop is going to be cleaned up. Well, the counter disables. Ravens are disabled. They're getting low. Yeah, Kamikaze will not be broken. I mean, he does lose a lot of workers, but he does maintain the siege line. INexorable, he cannot gain ground. Kamikaze defends. And I mean, INexorable, he has a lot of potential with this army, especially potential to dive, but breaking this without any counter disables, without interference matrix, it's just so difficult. Even with a 40 supply lead. He can contain, of course. He's rotating, making sure there is no fourth. Speaking of, Kamikaze will expand. At least he's looking to. CC's floating over. Based on some turrets, dropping into the main. Up! Does commit, and we'll get into the middle. We'll get into the production. And the Raven's going to be shut down. Vikings, they at least catch the medevacs. It's going to be a one-way trip. But the Marines are trading well. Vikings forced to land. And finally, INexorable is trading against the Viking counts. Getting to the mineral line. You could argue this was an expensive trade for INexorable for only getting 4 SCVs, but I mean, he still takes out a lot of Vikings, and he got a Raven. And again, INexorable has to make use of this army. Gets eyes on the 4th. Planetary's morphing in, but INexorable's in position. Yeah, we'll ensure the base does not get up. Oh, he stims in! Uh-oh. Gets a tank. Okay. Gets a tank and should get a kill in the CC. And the command center won't float away. There's no escape. It does burn down. But it's okay, because Kamikaze's got a backup CC. he's just got 2 more behind this. And ready to lift and land. 3-3 on the for INexorable. It's one of those things where even though INexorable has momentum right now, if Kamikaze can stabilize, or I should say, if he can slow the game down and get his 4th up and running, they still in this. Here come the disables. We do get 4 disables off. INexorable stimming in. Shuts down the tanks, gets a CC. And it looks like the the blue Terran has done a GG. Well played gets called. The 3rd base is broken, and INexorable will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations here, congratulations to INexorable. He will advance on. My condolences to Kamikaze. Again, he was able to hold his own. He was able to have his own moments as well, but was unable to slow the game down the way that he wanted to. He was able to set up a siege line at the 3rd, but honestly, the drop into the main did so well for INexorable. Again, it wasn't about necessarily killing his opponent, but it was about distracting. It was about keeping the Vikings and Ravens busy while he was setting up for another counterattack, while he was pushing towards the 3rd base, and just pulling the red Terran apart, the making Terran apart. GG, well played, congratulations. And with that, we have our finalists. We have our top 2 players of the tournament. And Eric has been patiently waiting, and now we have our grand finals. It's going to be a ZVT between Eric and INexorable. Let's go.